Next, let's take a look at how we might add images to our website, and we do this via the IMG tag. IMG denotes an image element, and the first thing that we'll notice about it is that it's self-closing, meaning that we don't need both an opening and closing IMG tag. We only need the opening tag and then include this / to indicate that it closes. The next thing we'll notice is that it includes 3 distinct attributes, the first being the source of our image, and the source is a relative path to the image that we want to include in this IMG element. And in this case, the image is located in the same path as our index.html file, so we simply just include the name of the image in this source. The next attribute that we include is the width, and the width is the maximum width that we'd like our image to be. In this case, we've set it to 200, meaning 200 pixels. And finally, we have the alt attribute. And the alt is text that should be displayed to the user if for whatever reason our image was not able to load. So we'll play around with these attributes in a moment, but first let's run this in our browser and see how it looks. And we'll see that our image loaded correctly in our browser and it's 200 pixels wide. And so now let's go back into our image tag and play around with some of these attributes. So the first thing that we'll play around with is the width. Let's change the width to 400 pixels, save that, and then refresh it in our browser. And we'll notice that the browser does a good job of automatically maintaining the integrity of the picture dimensions. And so we only set the width and it knows what the height ought to be based on the proportions of the picture. So that's useful. We don't have to calculate both the width and height that we should allow our picture to be. Next, we'll change the location of our image. So typically, we want to store images in a separate folder for ease of maintenance of our code. And so let's do that right now by adding a new folder and calling it images. And down here, we'll notice we type in images, hit enter, and Sublime Text creates this folder for us. So let's go ahead and move this file into our images folder by right-clicking on it and dragging it in here. And so we've done that. Now, if we refresh our page, if we save and refresh our page, we'll see what happens. It wasn't able to locate our file, our image file, so it just displayed that alt text that we specified earlier. So let's go back into our code, into our HTML, and see what the problem is. And if we look closely, we'll notice here, our favicon.jpg file is no longer located in the same directory as our index.html file. Instead, it's located in this images directory, and so we just have to give that relative path of images / favicon.jpg. And now if we save this, indeed it refreshes and is able to find that image properly.